But yeah, let's get to our winners and losers.
Well, listen, I'm going to go Texans because the reason I want to start with that, I'm giving them an A++ because I was watching their draft with the most envious, jealous eyes you've ever seen. They took every single stinking bleeping player that we evaluated and broke down and talked about the Patriots taking. It started with both Iowa State wide receivers.
Which was hilarious.
Oh, my God. They got both of them. Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel. We talked about both of these guys till we were blue in the face. And we debated which one should the Patriots take. Well, I'll be doggone if the Texans didn't take both. Then they got offensive tackle Ariante Ursary from Minnesota, who Sean McGuire did a whole sit-down with the coach about this kid. Patriots fans wanted him. We get Will Campbell, all good. But then this guy goes to the Texans. I was going nuts watching their draft. They get an A++. The only thing I wish is that it was a Patriots draft.
Yeah, they got both those receivers. They got Ariante Ursary.
Unbelievable.
They built out their receiving room, especially with Tank Dell coming back from a major leg injury.
Yeah.
And once Christian Kirk signed a 1-year deal, once he's done, that's Jalen Noel's role.
Yep.
And Jaden Higgins is a Nico Collins 2.0.
Fantastic draft.
First team I liked, I'm going to go with the Titans. Yes, they got Cam Ward, but then they go Femi Oladejo in that second round, traded up for him. Great traits, really high ceiling as an edge rusher. They need someone like that on the defense. But then it's what they did. The day of the draft, they signed Tyler Lockett. They already have Calvin Ridley in that receiving room. Then they draft Chimere Dike out of Florida. Fluid mover, really good acceleration, deceleration, manipulates cornerbacks with his route running, very reliable hands. That's just a solid guy that'll be a wide receiver in that room for 2-3 contracts. They go Gunnar Helm out of Texas, a tight end. Perfect short yardage tight end, post-up player in the red zone, and complements our current tight end in Chuko perfectly because he's more of the downfield type, vertical tight end. And then they get Eliko Yomenor. I don't know much about it. Like, I don't know what he's going to become. He could be great. He could be a bust. But you drafted a rookie quarterback, and then you got 3 pass catchers on top of the 2 guys you have.
Yeah.
You're just throwing darts at the wall, and you're going to see who hits. One of those 3 pass catchers will work, and Femi Oladejo, I bet he'll work.
Well, you and I were on TV when these picks were coming in, going back to Cam Ward for a second. What I saw online after our show that night on Twitter and other social media platforms was a lot of discourse about no one really talked about Cam Ward on other networks because they were going crazy about Shadur Sanders being passed up with each pick.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you included the Titans because
on top of Cam Ward was
as far as
I like his traits. I think he'll be a great quarterback.
But as far as quarterbacks go, you always get all the hype surrounding a number 1 pick. This is the first time I can remember someone went number 1 and you barely heard much about it. I also have the Ravens. Listen, they didn't even need this kid, Malachi Starks, best safety available. They didn't need him. But they're at the point where they're like, well, we got to take someone. Come on in. This is typical Ravens.
And he compliments Kyle Hamilton.
Of course he does. How about Mike Green, the pass rusher, who we also talked about is a potential Patriots guy. He's got character issues, but typical Ravens. They'll take him, surround him with leaders, and they'll get production out of him.
They had a fantastic draft.
It's insane.
My number 2 team was the New York Giants. Stick and pick Abdul Carter, best available at 3.
You like Jackson Dart?
Trade up. I like Jackson Dart to marinate for a season, learn. He'll end up playing the last 3-4 games of the season after learning from Jameis Winston.
I didn't think you liked him.
I like. He's Jared Goff. He's going to be consistent. He can be fluid, but I don't like quarterbacks coming out of the system he came out of. But with Brian Dable behind that offensive line, with that receiving room, I do like him, and he doesn't have to play right away.
Okay.
It's a right situation.
All right.
But it's not because of Jackson Dart. They go Abdul Carter, then Darius Alexander.
Yeah.
Mean interior defensive lineman, perfect to complement and play off of Dexter Lawrence. So now you're going to have Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. And when those guys need breaths, you have Darius Alexander punching you in the face and Abdul Carter snapping your neck. I just love that defensive line. Then they get Cam Scatterbo, goal line back, perfect complement to Tyrone Tracy. And Marcus Bowe, they need a guard there. So I just liked what the Giants did, man. Their top 3 picks were fantastic, now and future.
What did you make of Abdul Carter trying to get number 56 and LT telling him, go make your own mark,
I'm not surprised LT said that.
That was a right move from LT.
Warren Moon's letting Cam Ward wear his number.
That's a good point. I guess he could have let it go.
I agree with LT. I respect Abdul Carter asking it. I agree, though. Like, bro, just get your own number retired. He can't wear 11. Did they retire 11 for Phil Simms? I don't know. But that'd be more realistic if Phil, let me rock it. I'm a D end. When someone told me that's happening, I was like, Lawrence Taylor's going to say no. He is one of the
He
biggest
is the
a-holes. He's a
Giants.
psychopath.
Well, he's the Giants too. I get it.
He's arguably a top 3 player of all
Yes.
time. All time.
Honestly, look, I know what McNair, the kind of impact he had as well on the Titans, but I think Warren Moon, when I think of them, I think Oilers and Warren Moon number 1. I'm a little shocked Warren Moon let that happen.
But I think
all the old players should say, make your own mark, kid.
But I like Warren Moon of he's going to Tennessee. It's another black quarterback for the franchise.
Yeah.
Cool. Rock my number 2, man.
Right.
Go ahead with it.
It's like a rite of passage.
Cam Ward, again, we'll talk Shador. Everything you heard about him, everyone loved him.
Yeah.
The Giants backtracked late, sent out their personnel
Right.
to do their due diligence on Cam Ward.
Right.
I think that's also a character standpoint of Warren Moon getting to know Cam Ward throughout this process.
Yeah.
And going,
it's personal.
you can rock it, man.
My last team, actually, I like 2. The Bears, for sure. I think this should be a playoff team this season. Colston Loveland, the tight end, wide receiver Luther Burton, who I loved. He's my favorite receiver in this draft, period. More weapons for Caleb Williams. And then I'm going to throw in the Jets here. I mean, Membu, who we liked from Mizzou at offensive tackle.
Yeah.
The tight end, Mason Taylor from LSU. I'm expecting big things from Justin Fields, but I want to be clear. When I say, let me define this. Big things from Justin Fields, I mean from a fantasy football standpoint. I don't mean the Jets are going to win games and be good. We are talking about the Jets. But I thought Justin Fields was playing well for the Steelers before they went back to Russell Wilson. You remember that?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be just fine with the Jets. So I'll be looking at him in fantasy football, and their draft helped me out with that.
I loved that. The funniest thing was Armand Membu was the best offensive tackle in this draft.
Most athletic.
He was the best offensive tackle.
Best?
But the Patriots needed a left tackle, and no one knew if he could play that. You don't have to worry about it. Olu Fashanu is going to be the left tackle for the Jets. They now have Olu Fashanu, who's 21, and Olu Fashanu, who's 22.
Right.
And with Elijah Vera Tucker, they made other good draft picks and free agency signings. The Jets now have a top 5 offensive line in the league. Mason Taylor, AZ Thomas, 2 good draft picks. My number 1 sucks. I'm sorry, guys. I'm about to say this team.
Say it.
The Chiefs.
Ah.
They got the most talented left tackle in Josh Simmons at the end of the first round. Character issues, medical issues, but if Andy Reid can get the most out of him, they have the best left tackle in this draft. Omar Norman Lott was made in a pass rushing interior defensive lineman factory, and he's going to be the perfect guy to complement Chris Jones. Ashton Gelati, George Karlaftis 2.0. They get Jalen Royals, high ceiling, sick athlete wide receiver. Little injury question marks, but perfect for the system. And then Brashard Smith, the running back out of SMU, wide receiver, now a running back. How they use their RBs. Let Isaiah Pacheco pick up the tough yardage.
Yeah.
Brashard Smith, home run hitter in the screen game, home run hitter on passing downs. This offense got a lot better.